Hi everyone, welcome to the Ellinesscrafts channel. My name's Lorraine and I'm coming to you from the UK. Those of you that are joining me for the first time, welcome. I do hope that you find something here that interests you, and for those of you that are returning, thanks for coming back. So, I'm going to start off by letting the new viewers know where to find me. In the description box below this video you will find information as to where to find me on the internet. So I'm on Instagram, Ravelry, and also over on Facebook. At the moment I'm on Facebook as Knit Stitch Crochet, however I will be trying to revert it back to Ellinesscrafts. I had a bit of a brainwave and decided to change my channel names all over the place, and then I decided, well, no, I actually want to stick with Ellinesscrafts. So I am currently on Facebook as Knit Stitch Crochet, but I will be trying to change the name back to Ellinesscrafts so it's uniform across the board. So on Ravelry, Ellinesscrafts, YouTube, Ellinesscrafts, and on Facebook it will be Ellinesscrafts. All the links are in the description box below the video. I try to also make sure I put timestamps down there so you can jump to the section that you're most interested in. I have a couple of make-alongs going on in my Ravelry group at the moment, and the first one is the Sock It To Me make-along. That's going on Ravelry as well as on Instagram. So on Instagram, if you want to enter that sock along, then all you need to do is post completed socks that you finished. Basically tag me in the finished sock post that you do and use the hashtag ENCSockItToMe so I know you are trying to enter the giveaway. Over on the Ravelry group, post your finished objects in the finished objects thread. I have opened a chatter thread over there as well, so you can have a bit of a natter about what you've been working on, different patterns, and share ideas and stuff like that. So that's on the Ravelry thread. All the info as to the start date and end date, I think it finishes at the end of August, but do check out the rules on the Ravelry group thread. I also have, for those of you that are not interested in making socks or are just generally not sock knitters, the show it off thread, so you can show me whatever it is you're working on so we can all coo and ah and everything else over those projects. So also in the description box I try to put my pattern links for the knitting patterns, cross stitch patterns, anything like that that I have been showing and sharing in this video, excuse me, and I try to mention podcasters that I talk about and shops that I reference. So all that good stuff will be in the description box below. If I have missed anything that I've mentioned in the video, let me know in the comment section and I will try to clear that up for you there. What else is there? That's about it. So I'm going to jump straight in to finished objects. So my first finished object, as you can see, is my longline cardigan. So this was by Hoki Locatelli. I'll just get the pattern. It's a cardigan by Hoki Locatelli. I've done it before. It's a nice full length cardigan. Well, full length, yeah. Just below the bottom length cardigan. It's quite straightforward. It consists of, let's see, 1x1 rib, whoops, and stocking stitch. There's nothing in this pattern, I don't think, that is technically difficult or too difficult for an intermediate knitter to handle. I say intermediate because the construction of the cardigan could be a little bit tricky, especially the arms, because the arms use wrap and turns. So that I found that a little bit tricky myself. So I think that possibly an intermediate knitter would be better suited to that kind of technique. However, yeah, that's it. It's just a straightforward cardigan. I will try and insert some photographs if I can of me wearing it so you can see what it looks like on. It is a bit too hot for me to try it on now, but it is full length. I haven't made any real modifications apart from to the cuffs. I lengthened the rib on the cuffs. I think it was supposed to be 2 inches and I made it about 3 inches because I like an extra long cuff. And then for this, for the hem, I think I stuck to the original length for the hem. Other than that, I've followed the pattern to the letter and I absolutely love it. My daughter enjoys it as well. She's worn it a couple of times, even though it's way too big for her, but she liked it. As soon as I finished it, she just had to try it on. So yeah, I've put my tag on it and I am good to go. I'm all set for the colder months with this cardigan. Like I said, I didn't have any real issues with this. I used a Drops Flora yarn. If you're interested, if you're interested in a little bit more info than that, I think I gave quite a lot of information in the previous video about how I was getting on with this cardigan and the yarn that I've used. So if you're interested in that, I will leave a link to the cardigan, my project page, in the description box below so you can check that out. But it was Drops Flora and it was a grey kind of marl yarn. Let me see if I can bring it close so you can see the kind of colour that it is. Marl kind of, it's a marled grey, and I'm really pleased with it. So that's my first finished object. The next thing is a cross stitch project. So I was working on the Tatty Teddy Reach for the Stars project last time. I'll try and insert a picture of where I was last time. I didn't think that I was going to get this one finished, but I think I've got so much into the stitching lately. I was on a bit of a roll. I had stopped working on some other projects that I'd been working on and I was determined to get this piece finished, and here it is. This is my Tatty Teddy Reach for the Stars project. I had this bit, when I showed the video last time, I'm pretty sure I hadn't done this bit. None of this bit had done. I'd only done a part of the teddy and now it is complete. So what I've done, I've framed it. I got some information on YouTube about different ways to finish cross stitch projects, and I found some information about using a self-adhesive acid-free card and to mount the actual project on. So I've done that. That's what this white bit is. It's mounted on acid-free self-adhesive card. And then I got the frame on Amazon, and I've literally just covered the backing piece with a piece of pink fabric and then stuck the card with the cross stitch project on it in the middle, as centered as I could, and that is it. The only issue, I did have issues with the metallic gold thread here. So this is a gold metallic thread, which is a DMC. I think it's called Light Effects, and it was a nightmare to work with. I was trying to use the normal method that I use with the normal stranded cotton, and it wasn't working. It kept splitting all over the place and it was just creating knots and it was just driving me crazy. And I put a post up in a Facebook group and asked if anyone had any tips for how to deal with it, and somebody came up with thread magic, which is like a little a pot of wax that you just swipe your thread through to kind of bond it together so it doesn't fray. So I had that on order, but the other thing, I think the useful tip that somebody came up with was to thread your metallic thread through the needle and just knot it actually at the eye of the needle. So at the ends you'll have the two strands that are separate, but right at the eye of the needle the thread will be knotted at the needle, and that seemed to work. It actually made it a lot easier to work with. So when I did all of this bit, I was just using it as I would, using the normal method, as I would the normal cotton yarn, and I had so much difficulty up to around about here. And then after the tips, I completed all of this bit, and I feel like it came out a lot neater. I'm not sure if it shows in my work. The other thing that I learned on this project is not to carry my threads, darker threads, behind here. So these little stars that I have here, the little dark coloured stars, you probably see I carried them. What I did, I stitched the star and then I carried them I carried the thread from one star to the next, and I realised that I could see it through the back. So then I asked people for some tips and they said to just do them as single stars. So I did that, and then I knotted and I snipped and stuff at the back. But it was only after I'd finished the picture and glued it to this piece of card that I realised, or that I found out, or that somebody told me about using a pin stitch to finish off the thread and to start the thread, so that you wouldn't see the thread behind where I've tried to knot it. So you can probably see some blue bits here and there behind where I've worked the stitch, and if I'd have used a pin stitch, those bits wouldn't show. You can see the threads here behind the fabric. If I had used a pin stitch, those little threads wouldn't show. So that's something I'm going to be trying out in future, using pin stitch, and I have tried it on a new project I'm working on. So I think it's just going to take a little bit of practice to get used to doing that, to finish in a stitch like that. You can apparently start a stitch like that and finish a stitch like that, but at the moment I'm trying to practice just finishing a stitch using the pin stitch and see how I get on with that. But for this project I didn't do any of that. This was like my first real project without, what's the word? I don't even know how to describe it. It was my first real project to me, because I sourced the fabric, the threads, and I had the pattern from the World of Cross Stitching magazine. So I sourced everything and put it all together, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. This was like a beginner thing for me. And of course it's on 28 count Ada, which I had never worked on before. So that was a first. So yeah, I'm really pleased, and the back stitching on the Tatty Teddy was really tricky, very detailed. There's a lot of it, a lot more than I'm used to. So excuse the glare. I'm really pleased with the way it turned out, and I'm really happy to frame it. The other mistake I made was when I cut the fabric to put it on the board. I cut it without leaving enough of an edge around the fabric, and so you can see here the stitching is very close to the bottom. So these are all things that I have learned doing this project, and I will try and be mindful of those things on my next couple of projects, in terms of when I finish them off. So yeah, it's been a bit of a learning curve, but I'm really pleased with how it's turned out, and it's something that I can actually gift to somebody else or keep for myself and display it, and I'm just really pleased with the end result. So that is that was exciting for me. That's my first proper finish, other than the bunnies that I've got over there. So yeah, so that was that. Then I mentioned in my last video that I have been taking part in the Caterpillar cross stitch Positivity Rules Stitch Along, which is this one. So I got part 2 on the 29th of June, and I have finished part 2. So I'm allowed to show you, or to share on social media, my part 2 finish, and this is it. So it currently says kind, trust, patience and grateful, and I'm really pleased with this. This is on 32 count 32 count Zweigart. Pretty sure it's a Zweigart. Yeah, Zweigart fabric, 32 count, and that means I'm stitching this 2/2, which again is another first for me. I have never stitched on 32 count anything until now, and it's been a learning curve. The 2/2 is tricky. I did 2/2 on the Tatty Teddy one as well. So with the Tatty Teddy, that was a 28 count, so the holes are slightly bigger, so it kind of was a bit of a practice before I got onto the 32 count. 32 count is so much finer, and for this I really do need to be wearing my reading glasses or glasses, just so that I can see the holes properly and count the stitches properly. But I'm really pleased with how it looks. So this is the recent addition. That's the part 2 bit, Patience, Kind and Trust, and this bit was part 1. So I am now waiting for part 3. But I'm really pleased with how that looks. I think my stitching's getting neater. Let me see. The back is neater as well, where I've been kind of playing around with how I tidy it up, and I think I've practiced a couple of pin stitches on this one as well, so hopefully this piece will be neater than the Tatty Teddy one was. So yeah, so that's my, I think that those are all my finished objects this time around. I haven't really been very much, I haven't been doing a lot of knitting or crocheting lately. I've just been kind of going down rabbit holes, so I will explain in the next segment. So yeah, those are my finished objects, and let's move into works in progress. So for my works in progress, I have been doing a little bit of crochet. So this is one of my bags that I made myself, and I have my scrappy blanket in here, my scrappy granny square blanket. So the leftover yarn from the cardigan, I have added it to the scrappy granny square blanket. You can see it there, it's the grey. So I think I've gone around, I think I've done 2 rounds on this. So this is what it is looking like now. It's getting big, too big for the screenshot, but that's what it looks like now. Not quite sure what colour is going to be next. As I said before, it's a scrappy project, and it's a scrappy charity project. It is using 2 strands of yarn, DK weight yarn or fingering weight, and a DK weight, whatever I've got left in my scraps, and I'm using a 5mm crochet hook. Not quite sure what this hook type is called, but that's what I'm using. So not a lot to show you on that one. I have also been working on my Pusterbloom wrap, and here's that's the pattern that I am following. A very simple pattern using a lace weight mohair yarn. And last time round, oh, let me show you the yarn just for those of you that haven't seen this before. The yarn I'm using is Drops Kid Silk Unicolor yarn. That's what it looks like. And this is, I don't know what colour it is, but it's a cream colour. It doesn't have a colour name, it just has the colour 01. So that's what it is, Kid Silk, and it's mohair and silk. It's lace weight, and this is what it's looking like. So I think my stitch marker's in the right place, or my progress keeper is in the right place. I think I was about here last time, round about this section. So I had let's see, that much done. Not a whole heap, but I had that much done. And since last video, I have done this much. I don't work on this every single day. I work on it as and when I feel like it. It's not one of them projects that I pick up every day and go, oh, let me get some work in on this, because I realise I have to really concentrate with this because of the little dandelions. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, I think. It was free, yeah, on Ravelry. I'll leave a link in the description box. It's a very simple stitch pattern, but it's the little dandelion bits are really tricky to do. So yeah, so it takes me, I have to concentrate a little bit harder, and also I have to remember which row I'm on so that I get the stitches in the right, get the dandelions in the right place. I have made a couple of mistakes and had to undo and frog it back, and the frogging process is not fun with this type of yarn. So I don't work on it a lot, but as and when I have a little bit of play with it. And let's see, it's It's working up nicely. It is very warm. Look at that. So we're talking, at the moment it's over my shoulders. Not hugely. It needs to be a bit longer than this. It needs to be, well, quite a bit longer, I guess. I think that another ball of yarn and that will be finished, and I'll be ready to finish it up and put my label on and whatever. But it's slow progress. I'm not disliking it. Somebody mentioned in the comments last video that I should really think about how I'm going to care for it, wash it and stuff, and that was when I started to think, how do you wash this? Because it feels like it's so delicate that it'd have to be a hand wash. I said I was going to look at the label, didn't I? So the label says hand wash 30 degrees. Yeah, or there's the instructions for it. So it's a very delicate wash. That's why I was thinking that perhaps if I was to do another one, because I really like the pattern and I think it looks really lovely, really pretty, but it's very light. And I was thinking to give it a little bit of weight, I would probably want to double strand it with another yarn if I do the pattern again, and just to make it a little bit more weighty, and I guess that would also help with the washing. So it would make it easier to wash and less delicate. So yeah. So that's where I am with that. Those are my thoughts on the Puster Bloom wrap. So then, as I said before, I have really been getting into cross stitching and just stitching in general. And so after finishing the Tatty Teddy cross stitch, I then ordered a new one, and I have ordered another caterpillar cross stitch project, and it is, hold on a second, that's in the way, this one. It's called Deck the Halls. That's the pattern there, and it's a Christmas pattern, and I've looked at this a few times on the Caterpillar Cross Stitch website, and on Facebook I've seen it on their Facebook stitch alongs, and I just kept saying I really like it, I really like it. In the end I decided to cave in and I just bought it. So I have got this far. I've only done the MIS of the mistletoe, so it's down here, it says mistletoe, and I've done the MIS from that. So that's where I am on this one. This is on 16 count Ada, and it's 2/1. But that's where I am. I'm trying to be tidier with this one, and I'm trying to use the pin stitch and making my back a little bit tidier, and I think it's working so far. We shall see. I'm trying not to go cross country with threads and stuff, although I have done that up there. I'm trying not to do so much cross country on this particular project, and my needle marker is by Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and it's the little koala. I love koalas. So that's that. So that is my cross stitch project on the go. Knitting. I do have some knitting. I actually have done a little bit of knitting this time around. So where's the little bag for my knitting? Here it is, in my Ellinesscrafts bag. My son bought this for me for, I think it was Christmas or birthday a few years back. I have been working on some socks. So this is very slow progress because I've been really into stitching, so I've been doing this one like as and when I feel like it. The pattern is my very own biscuit socks pattern by myself. Instead of doing the full length sock, I'm doing shorty socks. Very easy. It's a vanilla sock with a little bit of a twist to it. It's got a patterny cuff, and I am using the Hedgerow yarns, mini yarns that I bought last time. I showed in my last video. So I'm using, for the cuff, the purple. That's my cuff. I'm using the purple for the cuff and heel, and I'm going to use it for the toes. And then for the body of the sock, for the leg I used this yarn from Hedgerow Yarns, and then I ran out of this yarn, so I've had to switch it up for the foot, and I'm using a different mini skein from that same set for the foot. So the socks are slightly half and half-ish. So that bit was the self-striping yarn that I used for the first bit, and then I've switched up yarn. You can see it here, and then the toes just going to be purple. I've started to do the toes on this one, but not on this one. These are going to be size 3 because I hadn't thought out how to use mini skeins to complete the socks, so I've just literally started knitting and thought, oh, I'm running out of yarn. These are not 100-gram skein yarn socks. These are mini skeins, Lorraine. These are mini skeins. They will not do a complete pair of my usual size 7s. So I had to rethink, but I didn't want to rip all of this out, so I just thought I'll just add in another mini skein down there for the foot. And the person that these are for, she won't mind. She likes random coloured things, so these will be for her in a size 3. So that's where I got to. So you can hopefully see just the little detail here on the sock, which makes it my biscuit sock. That's on each side, and there, and the different cuff. I really like the cuff. It fits really nicely, and a normal slip stitch heel flap and gusset, good to go. So yeah, I haven't really been doing a lot on these. These are on 2.25mm needles, which is my usual standard for socks, and I'm using chow goose. I usually use 9-inch circulars, but because I'm at the toe, I'm using the Knit Pro DPNs to do the toes. So I can't wait to get these off the needle, but I'm lacking the motivation to do that, strangely enough. I want to finish them, but I'm lacking the motivation to do a lot of knitting at the moment. I am really steered towards stitching, cross-stitching, and my new found interest, which I will share with you in a moment. But yeah, those are my socks that I am working on. Biscuit socks, patterned by me, available on Ravelry. So yeah, so that's that other whip. My last whip is this. So this is the thing that I have been really hooked on. I somehow managed to go down another rabbit hole and get myself interested in tapestry. And I found this flamingo tapestry by Bothy Threads on their website, and decided to purchase the kit and have a go. Me being me, as you guys know, I tend to find something, jump in and have a go at it, just jump in head first. So I ordered the kit, decided that, right, I really want to try tapestry, and then when the kit arrived, I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? I have no clue how to start this. I'll show you how far I've got. So that's what it's going to look like, and the plan is to make a cushion. It's two pink ladies, and it's flamingos. This is where I've got to so far. So I've done this flamingo completely, and I've done a lot of the bottom bit here, the cream coloured section all along here in the legs. So I've done quite a lot of it. I've been really hooked on this. I don't know what it is. I find it so relaxing. It doesn't strain my eyes. I don't have to count so much because the print is on the canvas. So all the design is actually printed on the canvas, so I can follow the colouring. So the problem I had was, this is what the canvas looks like. Let me see if I can put something behind it so you can see. Does that help? No, that doesn't help, does it? Okay, we'll just do it like this. So you can probably see the canvas has printed colouring on it, and I didn't understand where I was supposed to place each stitch. So I had watched a few videos. I had to watch some videos on YouTube to figure out how I was going to do this, because the colouring system didn't seem to be easy to follow. The colours seem to be all over the place. It doesn't seem to have, like, I was expecting each little square to have pink or white or black for the whole square, and then I know to stick a black stitch in there or a white stitch or whatever, but it's just a tiny part of the square that is painted, and so I found it really difficult to start with. So I thought, right, I need to watch a few videos, ask some questions on the Facebook groups that are available to join on Facebook for Bothy Threads Designs, and see what kind of feedback I got. I got a lot of help from people over there. I found videos and watched some videos on how to do the tapestry, how to follow the colouring system, and since I've watched those, I've just been really enjoying it, and I'm well away with it. So yeah, there's a colour key chart on the side here, the colouring here, so you don't have to focus so much on counting the squares and what to put in them. You just, if you can read the colour chart the way it's meant to be read, you will know where to put the correct colour. It's difficult to explain it, but there is a video, there was a couple of videos that I watched that made it pretty clear to me what I was meant to be doing, and I'm really pleased, and I feel like I've got the hang of it. I'm really pleased with the result. It's looking good, and yeah, I'm just really hooked on it. So I actually ended up buying the frame, because the frame is an LBZ Easy Clip frame, and I got it on Amazon, and I figured I could use it for tapestry and also for cross stitching. It actually clips the tapestry, holds the tapestry in place, and it's a scroll frame, so I can just scroll up or down throughout the design. So yeah, so my plan for this is to just work the cream colour around here up to the top, and then probably work that way. I have been at the moment working upwards, but I quite like doing a little bit of the colour work and then doing just something plain. So when I'm watching TV or something, I quite like to just do the plain cream sections, and because I've done this flamingo, I can just fill in the cream sections and not have to think too much. But when I have to, when I'm getting to the colour bit, I have to be able to see the colour chart, and so into the evenings when it's getting darker, it's a little bit more difficult to see the colour placement, and so I either have to put it down or have good lighting to work on this. So yeah, but that is where I am with this tapestry. It's called in the UK, and in the US it is known commonly as needlepoint. So the videos that I watched that helped me referred to needlepoint, and so if you're interested, look up videos on beginner's needlepoint. And you get in there with the tapestry, it's not actually cotton. On my one I'm using wool, so it's lots of different wools, whether or not they're acrylic or actual wool, I'm not sure actually. It says here anchor tapestry wools and stranded cottons to add the backstitch details. So this was a complete kit. The only thing that you don't get with this is the actual cushion and then the backing for the cushion. So yeah, so you get all the wools that come with it here, and this comes kitted up very much like cross stitch project. It comes up with the threads like that, so it made it kind of easy enough to transition from cross stitch to the tapestry, and I'm finding it, I'm addicted to it at the moment. I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. So yeah, so those are my works in progress. So what else do I have to share with you? I have some incoming to share with you, and then I will give you a little bit, I will show you a couple of the prizes that I have for the Stock It To Me make-along. So, incoming, as I showed you before, I have the LBZ frame that I got on Amazon, which I'm really finding useful, because with the frame I can stitch two-handed. So I can hold the frame like this, kind of lean it on my knee, and then stitch with my right hand underneath and my left hand on the top. So my left hand pushes the wool through and my right hand pushes it back up through the bottom. So I'm finding it easy to do two-handed stitching with this, and I'm hoping I can transfer that to my cross stitching as well with the frame. So that's that. Then I have, because I enjoyed this tapestry so much, I ordered another one. So I've ordered the Bothy Threads, what's it? Flight of the Bumblebee tapestry. I haven't opened it yet, but I can't wait to get started on this one when I finish the flamingo one. So those are all the yarns in there. I like this, and I'm hoping that I can get this one done or get started on this one at some point. So yeah, this is what happens when I go down a rabbit hole. First it was the diamond painting, now I'm on the tapestry. So that's that one. Then I have, yeah, this was a new purchase, the Deck the Halls one. That was a new purchase also, that came in this week. And because I picked up the tapestries and I want to make them into cushions, I was trying to find out how to make them into cushions. I was trying to figure out what fabrics to use, what size zips to use, and I managed to find on the internet an actual kit that is a cushion back kit. It's called cushion back kit, and these are by Vervaco. You can see, hopefully you can see it there, and it's just the actual cushion back. You can buy the cushion already done, the cushion back already done. So if I quickly take it out and show you. So once I've finished the tapestry, I actually just stitch this to the back of it, and then making sure that the zip's open, turn it inside out, and that's my cushion done. So that's it. It's actually a cushion back, so you just stitch that to the back of the tapestry and there's your cushion cover done. And then make sure obviously you need a cushion to stuff inside it and you're good to go. So I thought that was really handy. And I am thinking of perhaps making my own in future, but for the time being, just for this time round, I thought I would just buy the ready-made one just for speed and see how I get on. So yeah, so that was, we shall see. If you're interested in seeing what the actual finish cushion looks like when I finish the tapestry, then let me know and I'll make sure I include that in one of my next videos. So that's that. Yarn. So even though I haven't been knitting, I have been buying yarn still. Nuts. So I ordered some Craft House Magic yarn because, like I said before, I'm really into minis at the moment. So I picked up some Craft House Magic minis. I mean, look at them. I couldn't resist them. They are stunning. Look at that. All these beautiful pastel-y kind of mixed colours in a bundle. This is 7 of them in a bundle, and they all have, she's given them all different names. So I've got I Think We're Alone Now, Holding Out for a Hero, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now, Smells Like Teen Spirit, Tell It to My Heart, Rock Me Amadeus, and Lucky Star. And these are Superwash Merino nylon, and they are 75 25, and 20 grams in each, and they're 4-ply yarn. So that's the Craft House Magic minis. They are stunning. And Ellie is such a lovely person. She's so kind. She also sent me a little mini skein of, what is this one called? She's Like the Wind. Look at that. It's like a lovely, beautiful mint green colour. Oh, gorgeous. Absolutely love that. So thank you, Ellie, for that. Not only did she send that, but she also sent something for, she sent a prize for the giveaway, which I will show you in a moment. But that is what this is what I ordered from her, and that's my mini skein bundle. I also have picked up more mini skeins. These are by Wild Rose Yarn, and they came like this in this beautiful bundle. Look at these colours. How pretty are they? I couldn't resist these when I saw them in the bundle. They were obviously arranged better than this. I've obviously moved them around a bit, but that is them. I don't think they have individual names, but they are called Japanese silks. I've got 5 20-gram minis here, and they are merino and nylon, 75-25 sock yarn, and that's them, Japanese silks. beautiful. I absolutely love the colours on these. Look at that. Oh, just stunning. And I just, oh, I can see socks. I can see socks in these socks. I was thinking about doing a shawl, but I'm thinking with all the minis, but I'm thinking I'm not sure I would be entirely fond of a whole shawl made up of loads of different minis. I'm not sure how that would work in my mind, but I love seeing them all like this. I don't know, I've got to think about what to do with all these minis, because I'm just absolutely loving them. That's it, that's all I've been buying. Yeah, that's all. Those are the things I've been buying: the yarn and the tapestry and cross stitch. Right, so those were all my incoming. What I have now is a couple of prizes that I want to share with you that will be in the prizes for the ENC Socket to Me Bake Along. So I'm a very small channel, so I'm doing my best. So there will be 2 prizes for the ENC Socket to Me Make Along, unless I can come up with any more. But what I will be giving away is, excuse me, one of my project bags that I made. I don't remember if I showed you the project bags actually. Did I show you these? I think I posted them on Instagram. But I made this myself. I bought the fabric. I think I showed the fabric last time, but I didn't show the bags that I made. I think I showed the bags on Instagram, but I didn't show them on here. So I made these bags myself. So this is my Ellinesscrafts project bag. It's like I guess it's big enough for a sock project. It's a smallish one, and it's a drawstring bag because I like making drawstrings. As you know, I'm just trying to get my get some practice in with my sewing, and so one side is peachy coloured and the other side is green. I had a bit of a play around with colours. I'm not sure if you can see in the bottom there. If I turn it inside out, maybe you'll see what I did. I played around with the fabrics. So I've got, this is the inside. So I've got peach here and green here, and then when you flip it that way, you've got green here and peach there. So yeah, I was having a bit of fun with the colours in this one. And then on the outside, I just kept it this beautiful peach spotted colour. So I'm hoping that someone will enjoy this and it will get a good home, and I will throw in a couple of goodies in here to go with this. So that will be one prize. And then, like I said before, Ellie from Craft House Magic so generously donated a skein of this beautiful Sweet Dreams yarn, and it's a superwash merino cashmere nylon. I didn't even realise it was an MCN. Look at that. 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere and 10% nylon. It's stunning. Look at this. Sweet Dreams. Look at that. Absolutely love this. It feels like it's a DK weight. 400 meters in 100 grams, but I could be, it feels, oh, it's so squishy. It's so squishy. Is it, maybe it's 4-ply? Not quite sure. Maybe she'll correct, maybe Ellie will confirm whether it's DK or 4-ply. I think it is. Usually with a 4-ply it's about 425 meters in 100 gram. But it looks like a 4-ply. Not quite sure, but it is beautiful whatever it is. Look at that. And it is beautifully soft too. Merino cashmere nylon. Thank you so much to Ellie for this donation of yarn. So one person will win the yarn and the other person will win the project bag. And like I said, I will try and throw in some other little bits and pieces to go with the prizes. And so look out for that. I think that's all I have to share with you this time round. Hopefully you've enjoyed seeing what I've been working on. Next time I hope to have some more more finished objects, I guess. But it has been a little bit slow for me knitting wise and crocheting wise because I've been focusing so much on the stitching and the tapestries. I haven't done any diamond painting this time round. I've kind of passed that over to my daughter. I do have a diamond painting that I have yet to finish or even start, but I haven't really been inspired to work on that one. So yeah, so it's mainly cross stitching and tapestry this time round. However, next time round, you never know. With me, you never know what you're going to get, because I don't have any set routines. I just work on what I feel like working on at the time. So I do hope that you enjoy that. And yeah, that is it. I'm not going to ramble on anymore. Thank you so much for watching to the end. I know I'm a bit rambly. I do hope you've enjoyed it though. If you have done, give me some thumbs up. Let me know in the comments section what you've enjoyed about my video this time round, and do be sure to recommend to others that you think may be interested. But yeah, that is it from me. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you in about a month's time. Yeah, bye for now.